In the beginning, there was the horse. That was it. If you wanted to get somewhere, you walked or you hitched up a buggy. Then, in the late 1800s, these incredible, noisy, and frankly kind of scary machines started appearing. We're talking about the very first automobiles. These weren't the sleek machines we know today. They were more like horseless carriages, literally buggies with a sputtering engine attached. People like the Duryea brothers built the first gasoline-powered car in America in 1893. You had to be a brave soul to drive one. They were unreliable, the roads were terrible, and you probably spent more time fixing the thing than actually driving it. Still, the idea was revolutionary. Imagine the scene back then. A car chugging down a cobblestone street, scaring the horses and leaving a trail of smoke. Kids would run after it, and adults would stare, wondering what this strange contraption was. These early cars were toys for the rich. They were hand-built, one at a time, which made them incredibly expensive. Think of them as the supercars of their day. You needed a fat wallet and a good mechanic on standby. The engines were primitive, often using a tiller for steering instead of a wheel, and a simple brake that barely worked. It was an adventure just to go a few miles, a real test of nerve and mechanical skill. Most people thought these things were just a fad, a noisy nuisance that would never catch on. They couldn't see a future where these machines would be everywhere. The infrastructure just wasn't there. Roads were unpaved dirt paths, designed for hooves, not rubber tires. There were no gas stations, no road signs, no traffic laws to speak of. If your car broke down, you were on your own, hoping a friendly farmer with a team of horses would come along to tow you home. It was a wild and untamed era, the very infancy of what would become America's greatest love affair with the automobile. But even in those early days, the promise was there, the promise of freedom. The idea that you could go wherever you wanted, whenever you wanted, without relying on a train schedule or a tired horse. Innovators and dreamers across the country were tinkering in their garages, trying to build a better, more reliable, and more affordable machine. People like Ransom E. Olds were already experimenting with assembly line concepts. The spark had been lit, and the stage was set for a man who would take that spark and turn it into an inferno that would change America and the world forever. It was just a matter of time. Then along came Henry Ford. Now, Ford didn't invent the car, but he did something even more important. He invented a way to make the car for everyone. He had a simple, brilliant vision. He believed that the people who built his cars should be able to afford to buy one. Before Ford, cars were luxury items, custom-made for the wealthy few. Ford looked at the process and saw a ton of wasted time and effort. He didn't want to build one car at a time, he wanted to build thousands. He was a man obsessed with efficiency, and that obsession was about to put the entire country on the move. His masterstroke was the moving assembly line, which he perfected in 1913 for his Model T. It was pure genius. Instead of having workers run all over a factory to assemble a car, he brought the car to the workers. Each person had one specific job to do as the car's chassis moved past them. This system dramatically cut down the time it took to build a car from over 12 hours to about 90 minutes. This incredible efficiency meant he could lower the price. The Model T, affectionately known as the Tin Lizzie, became cheaper and cheaper over the years, making it accessible to the average American family. Ford also made another revolutionary move. He doubled his workers' wages to $5 a day. People thought he was crazy, but Ford was smart. He knew that a well-paid worker was a happy and loyal worker. It also meant his own employees could save up and buy the very product they were building. He created his own customers. This idea fueled the growth of the American middle class. Suddenly, a factory worker had the same freedom of movement as a millionaire. The Model T wasn't fancy, but it was tough, reliable, and easy to fix. It was the car that put America on wheels. You could get the Model T in any color you wanted, as long as it was black. Why? Because black paint dried the fastest, which was crucial for keeping the assembly line moving at top speed. It's a perfect example of how every single decision Ford made was driven by efficiency and the goal of affordability. By the time production ended in 1927, over 15 million Model Ts had been sold. It was more than just a car. It was a symbol of a new era of American industry and personal freedom. Henry Ford didn't just build a car, he built the modern world. Once everyone had a car, the world had to change to keep up. The most immediate impact was on where people could live and work. Before the automobile, you had to live within walking distance of your job or near a streetcar line. The car blew those boundaries away. This led to the birth of the suburbs, Families could now live in a house with a yard, away from the crowded, noisy city center, and the man of the house could just drive to work. Our cities started to sprawl outwards, creating a whole new American landscape defined by highways, driveways, and two-car garages. Travel was completely transformed. What used to be a long, difficult journey by train or horse became a Sunday drive. Families could pack a picnic and explore the countryside, visit relatives in another town, or even take a cross-country road trip. This created a boom in new businesses. Motels, short for motor hotels, popped up along major routes to serve weary travelers. Gas stations became a fixture in every town. Diners and roadside attractions appeared, all designed to cater to the new American on the move. The car didn't just take us to new places, it created new places for us to go. This newfound mobility changed daily life in countless ways. Farmers could get their goods to market more easily, doctors could make house calls in rural areas, teenagers discovered a new kind of freedom and privacy, leading to the rise of dating culture centered around the automobile. The car became a personal space, a rolling living room where you could listen to the radio and escape the confines of home. It gave people a sense of independence that was unimaginable a generation earlier. The American dream became intertwined with the idea of owning a car and having the freedom of the open road. Of course, this revolution wasn't without its problems. As more cars filled the roads, traffic jams became a new source of frustration. The demand for better roads led to massive government projects, like the Interstate Highway System signed into law by President Eisenhower in the 1950s. This network of highways further connected the country but also sometimes cut through and divided established city neighborhoods. The car created a world of incredible convenience and freedom, but it also presented a new set of challenges that we are still dealing with today, from urban sprawl to our reliance on fuel. As America's car culture grew, certain models became more than just transportation. They became legends. Think about the 1950s and the glorious tail fins of a '57 Chevy Bel Air or a Cadillac Eldorado. These cars were statements of optimism and style, rolling sculptures covered in chrome. Then came the 1960s and the birth of the muscle car. The Ford Mustang, launched in 1964, was a phenomenon. It was sporty, affordable, and created a whole new market. Soon you had the Chevy Camaro, the Pontiac GTO, and the Dodge Charger, all packing huge V8 engines. These cars were all about power and performance, and they became symbols of American rebellion and horsepower. Cars became central to our culture, starring in movies and songs. What would American graffiti be without that yellow '32 Ford Deuce Coupe? Or Bullitt, without Steve McQueen's iconic Mustang chase through San Francisco? Musicians sang about their cars, from the Beach Boys' Little Deuce Coupe to Bruce Springsteen's anthems about racing in the street. The automobile was no longer just a machine, it was a character in the American story. It represented freedom, romance, status, and adventure. Owning a certain car could define who you were, or at least who you wanted to be. It was a rolling piece of your identity. Today, the car is as important as ever, but it's undergoing another massive evolution. The conversation has shifted from cubic inches to kilowatts and gigabytes. We're in the age of the electric vehicle, or EV, and the smart car. Companies like Tesla have completely changed the game, proving that electric cars can be incredibly fast, stylish, and desirable. The focus now is on sustainability, efficiency, and technology. Cars today are packed with computers, sensors, and screens, offering features like lane assist and self-parking that would have seemed like science fiction just a few decades ago. Looking to the future, the possibilities are even more amazing. The next great frontier is the self-driving or autonomous car. Imagine a world where you can get in your car, tell it where to go, and then sit back and read a book or watch a movie while it handles the driving. This could revolutionize our cities all over again, reducing traffic, accidents, and the need for parking. The American love affair with the car is far from over. It's just entering its next chapter. From the first noisy, horseless carriages to the silent, intelligent machines of tomorrow, the automobile continues to be a driving force in the American experience.